I do not own the rights to this music. Hello, and welcome to Sunday School Summary with Brother Ron. Sunday School lesson for Sunday, June the 4th, 2023. Our reference material for the Sunday School Summary is based upon the International Sunday School Lesson Series as published by the Sunday School Publishing Board. We are discussing Righteous Reign of God as the title of the summer lesson series, and it is a discussion of the nature of God's reign, beginning with the Old Testament declaration of God's righteous power. Now, the Righteous Reign of God lesson series is categorized into 3 units or groups of lessons, and we are in Unit 1, and we're talking about the prophet proclaimed God's power, and explores God's power as proclaimed by the prophet Isaiah, Ezekiel, Zephaniah, and Zechariah. The title of our first lesson in the Unit 1 Summer 2023 lesson series is titled Stop the Chaos, or Restore Order and Direction in Our Life Through the Saving Grace of Jesus Christ. And this is the message to the children of Israel as they embark on their trek back to their homeland. The key verse comes from Isaiah chapter 52, verse 7, and it reads, "How beautiful on the mountain are the feet of those who bring news, who bring good news, who proclaim peace, who bring good tidings, who proclaim salvation, who say to Zion, your God reigns." Now, the title of today's lesson is Stop the Chaos from the Old Testament book of Isaiah. And the prophet Isaiah was appointed by God to warn the people in Judah of their rebellious nature and flirtation with and worshiping of idol gods and not following God's commandments. The prophet Isaiah prophesied about the Jewish captivity in Babylon as punishment for this idolatry and disobedience to God. The acts of rebellion caused the children of Israel to be sold into bondage for no real value. And despite the people's rebellion, God still vowed to redeem them from their Babylonian captivity, which brings us to today's lesson. There are 2 summary lesson points for today. Praise Isaiah 52, verses 7 through 9, and publish Isaiah 52, verses 10 through 12. The passages for the lesson today revolve around the key words of faith, proclaim, authority, and reign. Now, we know that faith is complete trust, assurance, belief, or confidence in God. And the children of Israel are commanded to have faith in God in today's lesson as they travel back to Jerusalem. Proclaim, to declare officially and publicly. Isaiah proclaims the power of God to bring peace, joy, and salvation to the children of Israel in today's lesson. Authority is the power to act, the power of God's authority throughout the world in today's lesson. And reign is to rule with authority and the time period of that rule. Isaiah proclaims the authority and power of God to deliver salvation to the children of Israel in today's lesson for all the world to see, and he reigns forever with all power. The first summary point is praise from Isaiah chapter 52, verses 7 through 9. And these passages, Isaiah expresses the joy and consolation and hope that the good news brings to God's people. And it reads, somebody is coming across the mountain to bring good news to us, and it is a beautiful thing to see him run towards us. And he has come to tell us that there will be peace because God will save our city. He says to Zion, your God rules. Goes further to say, listen, the guards on the city walls are shouting. They all shout together with joy that they can see for themselves that the Lord is returning to Zion. And he says, Jerusalem, your buildings have become heaps of stone, but now you can all shout together with joy, sing aloud, because the Lord has comforted his people. He has made Jerusalem safe again. So we are to be thankful to God that he reigns and rules in all situations, even in chaos, because the children of Israel praised the Lord even though they encountered ruins of Jerusalem, but through the power of God, they realized that God is all powerful and he had delivered them and he had comforted them. So when we find our salvation in God, we have comfort, peace, and joy, and we are to spread and share that. Published from Isaiah chapter 52, verses 10 through 12 is our second and final summary point. And in these passages, Isaiah announces the power of God to deliver his people, God's commandment to remain pure, and the comfort and assurance that the Lord will lead and direct them in an orderly manner, and also that the Lord will protect them on their journey. And it goes on to say in these passages, the Lord has shown all the nations how strong he is. They can see his holy power. People all over the world would know that our God has rescued his people. So this is a public proclamation that God is all powerful and that he will deliver his people. He says, leave, go out there. And he warns them, do not touch anything that is unclean, meaning that they should not take any of their old lifestyles or habits from Babylonia to Jerusalem. Likewise, when we have been delivered from salvation or through salvation of Jesus Christ, we should not take with us those things that are unclean and are not of God. So he says that keep themselves pure. And lastly, he says, but you will not have to hurry and run away. No, the Lord Israel's God will keep you safe. He will lead you at the front and he will be your guard at the back. So he is publishing that God is all powerful and that he will lead the children of Israel in an orderly manner back to Jerusalem. Compare this to their hasty exit from Egypt. The Lord is with them in the front. He's leading them. And he also has their back in the rear. So we can be assured that God will lead us and direct us and protect our back and illuminate our path if we follow his commandments. We ask the Lord for his direction, guidance, and comfort. This is Brother Ron with the Sunday School Summary for Sunday, June the 4th, 2023. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed week, and we hope to see you next Sunday for another edition of Sunday School Summary with Brother Ron.